ditch light install for the Jeep Gladiator, but they're not going where you think they might. Well, good afternoon everybody, and welcome back to Robotive JT. And that's right, today I'm going to be installing some ditch lights on my Jeep Gladiator, but they're probably not going exactly where you think they might, being ditch lights and all. Real quick, if you haven't before, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. So we're going to be installing these today. Where they're going to go is right here in the front, right underneath this bar, I guess, in these two holes. Now, I say they might not go where you think because I know a lot of people put ditch lights up here across this cowling area, maybe in here, maybe here, but I'm not doing it that way. I'm going to use them more as fog lights, really, and I am going to replace the lenses with amber. Again, more for cutting through fog. So, what I've done so far, I've already run the wiring through a grommet right there. There is a video on how to do that. I made a separate video because I know a lot of people run wiring that's not specific to lighting or ditch lights or whatever. So I wanted to go ahead and show you how to do that. I'll link that below if you want to see how to get wiring through the firewall on the Jeep Gladiator. Now, what I've done so far is I've removed the kick plate or the knee plate, whatever you want to call it, that's right here. That just pulls off. Just grab underneath and gently pull it off. You can see my wiring sitting there. That's what I've already run through. So now I have to go ahead and drill a hole through that wire, or through that kick plate, if you will, or knee plate, so that I can mount this little itty bitty switch. Now, you have to be careful when you're doing this because there's a lot of stuff that can be in the way in the back that might impede putting that switch where you want it to be. And you know, on the Jeep Gladiator, instead of just having a nice flat piece, they have this raised piece. I don't even know what this is. I'm assuming it's hollow, but it would make my life a lot more difficult to go in this area. So I've decided to go through right here. Now, that's going to put the switch right above my right knee, right here on the outside. So I've got a step bit. Never used one of these before. I usually use a hole saw. I'm going to go ahead and drill the hole. This is just held in by pressure. There's those little nubs. You can see one right there above my index finger. And then there's one where the tape is. And I taped it up so I'd know what sequence the wires are to plug it back in. So I'm going to go ahead, drill the hole through my cover. Wish me luck. This is the worst part of the whole mod because if I screw this up, there's no going back. Okay, we got the drill ready. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to drill a pilot hole first because I just think that's the way it should be. So here we go. Again, there's no going back. Once I do this, I'm committed. Maybe I should be committed. I don't know. But let's go ahead, get our hole drilled through, and then we'll grab the step bit. There it is. That's it. It's done. We've got the hole. Now I need to get the step bit, kind of drill through this a bit. I am going to go from the finished side. I think that's probably a better way to go. I'm not sure. I'm going to do this in increments until I get to the right diameter for the actual switch. So let me do that, and then I'll come back on and show you the fit, hopefully. Okay, there is the carnage, and there is the switch. Got to admit, it worked perfectly. It's in there very well, right where I wanted it, so I'm pretty darn happy with that. That came out great. Now, I have to go ahead, put it under there and plug it in, and I will say, if you've never used one of these, much better than a hole saw, especially for doing things like this. You just have to be careful because these things cut through plastic like butter, so go very slow. You can always go bigger, but you can't go smaller. Okay, here's what it looks like on the inside with the switch and the panel back on. The switch is obviously right there. All did well, all fit well, so now we're going to move on to the wiring in the front. I've taken the grill off just because I want full access to this whole area here. I'm going to run the wiring right along here underneath, probably come out right up here somewhere beside the filter, the air filter, to the battery. That's where we're going to connect it. But before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and get the lights on here. So I need to remove these two screws and then bolt the brackets and the lights themselves on. All right, we've got the amber lenses in. It's pretty simple. You just remove those 4 bolts, pull the clear lens out, and put the amber lens in. Pretty simple. And then I've gone ahead and put the brackets on. They fit perfectly, and they match the bumper. So far I'm digging this. It's going pretty well. Now it's a matter of mounting the lights themselves on here and then running the wiring up to the battery. Okay, after a little while, like probably a couple hours, because you know I take my time, it's done. I just have to put the grill back on, but that's no big deal. And I will show you it all lit up here in a minute. I'm not going to make you wait or do another video. But to take a look at the wiring, I brought it around from over there where we came through that grommet or access point. Put it underneath these holders. That was pretty simple. Right around the corner, right into this area. And then hooked it up to the battery. I grounded it right here on the factory ground. And then ran it underneath here, all the way down underneath the headlight, down in this area. Brought it through, I zip tied it to the, I guess this is the bulb for the fog light. And then through here, and then I tied everything down to the skid plate down below. Everything is zip tied so it isn't going anywhere. And then I put some of this covering over it like we did on my buddy Randall's, because I think it looks good. And that's it. That's the finished product. I have them adjusted, I think, how I want them. So I am going to go ahead and put some silicone in there, caulking, whatever, around that hole where the space is, just for extra protection. That's pretty simple. Then I'll put the grill back on. This little trim piece down here takes about 2 seconds. And then we'll fire it up. I'll let you guys see what it looks like. All right, it is finished. This is obviously what it looks like without the lights on. We're going to turn them on in just a second, so hang tight. Let's take a look at the job, the finished product with the grill and everything else back on. This is a shot, of course, from the front end. I like it. I think it's just a cool look just the way that it is, not to mention actually turning the lights on. But if you see, I finished it with this tubing, whatever you want to call it, and I'm not sure, I could make it so it went down straight on both sides, and you can see the wiring in the gap down there if you look real close. There you go. So if anybody's up here and they're standing over the truck looking down, I guess you can see the wiring. I zip tied it down so it's on top of the winch plate. Not a big deal to me, so you can't see it unless you're up there. But let's go ahead, turn them on, see what they look like. There you go. You can see they are quite bright. Not sure if I have them aimed right or not. We shall see. I can adjust them, of course. They just swivel up or down, whatever. I'll have to check that at night, maybe up against the garage door or something. But that's what they look like all lit up. Okay, that's the finished product. By the way, the switch on the inside does light up when you turn it on. That's pretty cool. That way you never mistake whether it's on or off. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Do they look good? Even off, I think. I'd be curious to know. Also, there will be links down below to the lights themselves as well as that black tubing if you're interested in checking out the brand and pricing and all that good stuff. Real quick, if you didn't in the beginning, make sure you smash that subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you don't miss out on any upcoming videos. I do have 2 additional channels. Rob Motive, all about Toyota Tacomas. And Rob Motive FST, all about full-size trucks, for now. Check them out, and if you're interested, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Stay lit out there. Bye.